this stuff called feeling. Well, my claim, and this is, by the way, has been my argument for a while, and I make this argument, I think, very clearly in my last book, which is called, appropriately, Feeling and Knowing, How to Make Minds Conscious. And in this book, I explain that probably the first row of feelings and the first kind of feelings that we had were feelings about our own body. Guess what? Hunger, thirst, pain, discomfort, well-being, fatigue, desire. All of these are feelings, and they are really the fundamental collection of feelings that is the base of our feeling system. What feelings, those feelings are doing is informing your mind about the state of your body. And this is really quite spectacular because it is feelings producing knowing. That's why I came to this title, Feeling and Knowing. And feelings are, for me, the inauguration of this great spectacular development called consciousness. So if you turn to me and ask me, Antonio, how did feelings start? I'll say the same way that consciousness started. Feelings are the beginning of consciousness. Consciousness started when we started having feelings that told us that we were hungry or thirsty or that we were in pain, because they were, from the point of view of evolution, a first arrival at a point of giving you information, giving you knowledge about the state of your body. And that, of course, is absolutely critical. And in the history of organisms, that is all geared to creating efficiencies about how life operates. You can see the beauty of this. If when you are in a certain state, you are, for example, running into low on your energy, it's very wonderful to have this thing called hunger that can tell you that you need to go out and eat, or you're getting dry and you need to go out and drink. So I think these two things were combined, consciousness and feeling, one giving rise to the other. And then, of course, if you are conscious of your own needs in your own living body, you're entirely open to many other kinds of consciousness, which have to do with what you see or what you hear. Because as nervous systems developed and became more complex, we were able to hear or to see or to touch. And lo and behold, when we did that, depending on which state we were in, which could be a state of well-being or a state of hunger or a state of desire, everything that was around us could be connected and be appreciated together with that fundamental feeling state. So that's why feeling is so fundamental. It is your base. You start with feeling when you have organisms that are complex enough to require a nervous system, and that nervous system needs to run the controls of this organism. Otherwise, you're just going to die. And that's why it's there. And so feelings and consciousness are sort of assistants to the process of life regulation within an organism. And they depend on this great development within a living organism, which is a nervous system. So you have really an enchainment of developments. You have life, and as life becomes more complicated, you need to have more and more devices that help you run that complexity and not fall apart and die. And nervous systems were a great answer to that. And what nervous systems produced that is fundamental to that goal of maintaining life, maintaining it in check, is actually feelings. That's the grounding of the process of maintaining life in complex organisms. And of course, once you developed feeling, you were, without noticing it, developing consciousness.